So welcome back. We're here and we're still talking about the NBA and free agent signings. And Coach, where we at now with our
Man,
analysis of free agency.
man, we down to let me ask you this,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get to this in a minute. The signing of I'm sorry, I'm collecting my thoughts here for a quick second. No, let's go with this one. Does James Harden move? Do the Rockets move James Harden, or do the Rockets move Russell Westbrook?
I would move Westbrook.
Why?
I'll move them both actually, but I'll move Westbrook if I want to focus on Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would move Harden to get some shooting. My ideal scenario would be to trade James Harden right now. James Harden for Korkmaz, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris.
You think they will give up all of that for James Harden?
Oh, James Harden is a top 5 player in the NBA. Ben
I
Simmons
wouldn't.
to me is a top 15 player in the NBA.
I would.
I could make an argument that Ben Simmons is better than most players in the NBA.
I believe that if I were to do that pick, I would give Ben Simmons. Let's go to Philly's roster, right? I'll give Ben Simmons first round draft
You can't
pick.
get Ben Simmons anywhere unless you get shooting with him. So you gotta get Korkmaz. You can even go Ben Simmons and Shake Milton for Harden.
I'll
Right?
go Ben Simmons. Here's what I would do. I'll give up Ben Simmons, Terrence Ferguson, and a first round draft pick for next year protected, in a second round draft pick protected in 2022 for James Harden.
I do it.
Or,
But Harden, yo.
Or I'll throw in Matisse Thybulle as well in that. And then what I'll ask from Houston, then if I'm gonna give almost 4 players for one plus 2 draft picks, Houston then will have to give up 2 basketball players. Like it just won't be James Harden coming.
It's a dude that got in trouble in the bubble. House Jr.
Daniel House would be the one that I would either ship out. Because
Listen,
one, he's younger and he doesn't have a lot of mileage. And I'll be okay with him. Like I can coach him. I think Doc Rivers can bring him in.
you put Ben Simmons on a team with Christian Wood, DeMarcus Cousins, PJ Tucker, Daniel House Jr.
I don't think here's my biggest thing. I don't think Tucker stays if those guys are gone.
No, Tucker hits a corner 3, man. Can't shoot 45% from the corner, and you're not letting that go.
But here's the biggest thing is like, what position are you going to put him in?
Well,
and really be okay with him.
He could defend multiple positions, and now he got Ben Simmons there. He would have not now, but he would have Ben Simmons there.
Who starts? Christian Wood. You just paid Christian Wood.
Cousins.
You just paid Cousins. You just paid all these guys. Who start? Now, do you bring him off the bench?
Who?
Your boy Tucker, PJ Tucker.
Tucker can't play the 3?
off the bench,
He can't
coming
play.
off the bench. I wouldn't have him as a fluid
He
three-man
played
starting in
the
the
5.
NBA. That was different. He doesn't have to move as much with a 5-man in the post, in the mid post. Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. If he had to go out there and freaking guard the new age 3-man, he'll be in a world of problems because he'll be on Gilligan's Island.
Listen,
To me, I will put him in.
PJ Tucker, 8th grader, nothing, bro.
No, but I'm not taking him.
He's gonna take that challenge on. He's a dog.
But again, people take being afraid versus knowing one age and body.
He beats
two different things.
Dove.
He beats a lot of people to the spot.
And when you pick up his dribble, he puts his stomach all over you. You can't move.
Do you? Let me ask you this. Then let me cut right to the chase. Do you play him 34 minutes a game?
Oh, I don't. Not on that team. Not on that team. But he has to be out there with Ben Simmons.
Again,
you're not going to help.
That's what I'm looking at. If I'm telling him to start, I need 34, bro. I need 34.
There's a free agent out there. There's a free agents out there that can help the Rockets if that goes through.
Okay. See, now that you open up that bag of worms,
there's some free agents out there that can help a team like the Rockets right now.
You open up that bag of worms
right now.
I
mean, you got Reggie Jackson, Langston Galloway.
Ooh. I like Reggie Jackson with the Houston Rockets.
I like Gary Payton too, Jr.
He's just a defender,
right? Ilya Sova might be able to help out, stretch it out a little bit, right? I don't know how much Damari Carroll has left, but
he's got some left. You got to think about it. He's the same age as PJ Tucker.
You know what would be a good fit is Thon Maker.
Free Thon Maker. Free Thon Maker. That ain't you until they free that man.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Who do you think the biggest winner of free agency is?
Ooh.
I'll tell you a team that made one move. I think it's a winner.
I think the Celtics got better.
No.
The Celtics got a little better.
No.
Free agency is. I mean, to me, it's kind of hard. I think the Bucks got better, but I'm gonna tell you who the real winner of free agency that nobody gives credit to, and it was on Twitter today. James Jones, it hands down won free agency for the Phoenix Suns.
I like that. I have them second.
Woo.
They made multiple moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have Atlanta third, right?
Okay. That's what that.
This team made one move, and they won free agency.
Okay.
And it may have shifted the NBA just a little bit.
Okay.
Although I still think the Lakers are the best team.
Okay.
The Clippers signing Serge Ibaka was huge. Let's give him a Donald Trump huge.
You know what? And I
the Clippers signing Serge Ibaka is as devastating. It's like they signed a max player.
I only look at that signing as like if I had a top 6, that may be a top 6 team. Like I gotta have. I'm gonna tell you why I said James Jones. One, he got Chris Paul, right? Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer. Let's just call it spade to spade.
Chris Paul's a dog, yeah.
Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer, turns teams around. Everywhere he goes, he wins.
Hall of Famer. Like, this dude is
36, 37-year-old Hall of Famer. Yep.
He's a Hall of Famer. Like, let's not even put you know, his whatchamacallit out there, like his age out there.
I'm putting it out there. Get a worst contract. Well, Westbrook now has the worst contract in NBA, but like, I mean, John Wall.
Oh, hands down.
John Wall does.
Hands,
John Wall does. How you gonna request a trade and you never played one day on your contract? Get out of here, man.
So let's look at the Suns. Let's not get into this that negative. Let's not look and get into that negativity right there with John Wall. But so we got DeAndre Ayton, right? He'll be coming back, play wonderful for him. Devin Booker. The biggest signing that he did that was bringing a player back that started with them was Javon Carter, who I thought is a solid dog.
The ball bull. The ball bull.
Just a dog, right? And then the biggest signing outside of Chris Paul was Dario Saric. I believe
today. Saric in Philly was tough.
You got Saric starting at the 4, Chris Paul at the 1, Devin Booker at the 2. Then you got Mikal Bridges at the 3 and DeAndre Ayton at the 5.
Nah, they signed somebody else that's pretty good too, bro. They got
no.
They got Crowder.
No. Crowder is with Portland.
No, Crowder's with the Suns, bro.
No, I'm telling you, Crowder's with Portland.
Jay Crowder is with the Suns, bro.
Hold on, let's look this up.
He signed with the Suns, bro. Oh, yes, he did.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
100%.
Now I know. Ooh. I wouldn't start Jay Crowder, though.
I am starting Jay Crowder.
No, but hear me out, right? Hear me out. Mikal Bridges is a solid player, right? He does what they need him to do. Space the court, defend. He has length. Okay. He's cool. A young player. He's a young player that they're building in.
That's
I
cool.
won't change, but again, hear me out. I wouldn't change his role more so than his minutes. I believe Jay Crowder will be able to finish games at that position, but you can also flip-flop and play a little small ball where you have the both of them out there because they can defend.
You can, but here's the thing. With Bridges, he can come off the bench and play against – he'll look great against other people's bench players if he comes off the bench.
So too with Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder, he's going to be hot or cold against a bench or a starting 5.
But again, it's the gamble that you take in signing them, understanding that factor. You know, to me, he's better served playing the 3 because he got exposed playing the 4. Now, physicality-wise and boxing out,
exposed a whole lot of people. That's Anthony Davis.
Well, again, like you're talking about a 6'6" small forward versus a 6'11" power forward center. That's a lot of length and size given up, bro. That's like me playing against you. You're giving up a lot of size, regardless of how good my skill set is. You're giving up that size, and eventually the size doesn't play a factor, and people got to understand this. Size does not play a factor in the first and second quarter. Size plays a factor in the third and fourth quarter 100%. where those small possessions where somebody got a hand on the ball can turn the game into what could be a 1-possession game into a 5-possession game.
100%.
Because those and that is what AD brings to the table. AD kills you in the third, fourth quarter with LeBron setting everybody else up. You know? So, but again, I believe, Jay Crowder's best served coming off the bench. And then maybe during the season, you put him in the starting role. And then you tell Mikal, this is the vision that I have for you right now so that you can continue to build on who you are as a player because you're still young in this game. Jay Crowder been in this league for 11 years now.
True.
You know.
True.
You know, and that's the game that you got to, you know, it's a dirty game, but you got to be able to speak that into existence with some of these guys and making them believe that that small piece of you being able to give up the happiness of starting versus the happiness of finishing this game. You
What
know, and certain guys, like I would say this, the Lakers showcase that the most in this bubble, in that bubble playoffs, where guys who were starters, guys that were played significant roles, took a step back and was like, "Yo, all I need to do is just play 15 minutes. All I need to do is play 20 minutes. All I need to do is just get 2 or 3 offensive rebounds.
like Dwight Howard, right?
Simple."
Right.
Then that's where guys buy in.
So, who do you think was the worst free agent signing?
Oof. I would have to say, I don't know what my man, MJ is doing and signing Gordon Hayward for $100 and some million. That is by far the worst contract ever.
He has to make it marketable, man.
Something going on, because he waived another $100 million guy to pick up another $100 million guy. It doesn't add up. 2 + 2 ain't equaling 4.
Right.
You know.
Well,
in that regards. Now, if he's doing it for the cap value of his organization due to trying to stay up with the Joneses, okay, financially, I see where he's going with it, because he's got to say, you know, looking at my product and my investment, am I staying the course or am I losing? Like, if my organization is worth $1 billion, each and every year I have a product that is consuming much of our, you know, let's say 20% of our budget, but in them consuming 20% of our budget, it's making up 30 to 32% of the budget that we would have lost if we didn't invest in it.
Right.
So that's where I think the breakdown of him giving out that $120-some million contract, it's to say that if we don't have a player like that, or a player that is garnering that much attention and financial compensation, we lose in organization-wise in the value of this organization and how others view it. That's why, you know, the Knicks are only valued as high as they are is because they're in New York.
Oh,
if the Knicks were in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Knicks would be worth $800 million. Me and you and 7,200 other investors can buy that organization if it was in Charlotte.
Well,
go
ahead.
So I believe that Mike has to showcase that, financially speaking, on the books, my organization is just right up there along with the rest, and I'm not tanking. You know?
I think the worst free agent signing was Marc Gasol. He's washed. He's washed. He's washed.
Hey man, I didn't want to put it out there, but I was going off of the finances more so than the actual skill set.
He's washed.
What do the Lakers?
I ain't think nothing else about that. I think some teams got better. I think Detroit sneaky got better a little bit, right? Jeremy Grant, I think is a good signing.
No. Them people out on the West Coast got better. The Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz each got better with the signings and the draft picks that they brought in.
I don't think Utah got better with Jordan with what's his name, Clarkson.
Yeah.
Spider,
but he
there.
But he does what he needs.
They got Favors back.
Exactly.
While Donovich was back, it might be okay. I still
say that again.
I still think Golden State's going to be the 5th seed.
I believe Golden State is going to be around the 6th or the 7th seed.
I think they're gonna be the 5th seed.
I don't think
Kelly
that they'll be.
Kelly Oubre is gonna go to work in that offense.
That was a sneaky, underrated trade. I believe, because man, if you can get that,
Oubre gets busy, bro.
but he does. But if you can get them to mentally buy into basketball, like buy into the concept of basketball and playing for each other, him and the Canadian kid Andrew Wiggins, this is going to be the year that Steve Kerr shows that he can actually coach.
Right.
Last year,
yeah,
he was hurt, and they mailed it in. Right. This year is going to be the year that Steve Kerr shows his X and O's knowledge, but in retrospect, he shows his ability to manage the mental aspect of the game for each individual player.
Right. I hear that.
You know, because I believe that collectively they're going to be something on paper, but mentally, will guys buy in to their roles?
5th seed. And as we look to wrap up this episode, let's go with some preseason. You know, we're gonna do another episode. We're gonna talk about the NBA season, but let's finish off with 3 things, bro. Number 1, your early season MVP, your early season best team in the league,
okay,
and your early season rookie of the year.
I'm gonna start off with rookie of the year. I'm gonna go with James Wiseman. I believe that
you mentioned something like that earlier. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with James Wiseman is my rookie of the year. My preseason favorite team that's going to get it going. I mean, it's still between the Lakers or the Bucks. Then what was your last question?
Player of the year, preseason MVP.
I think Anthony Davis will be this year's preseason MVP.
Bro,
I think he has a lot to. I believe he has more of a chip on his shoulder because of the Giannis effect. Like I'm looking at this, right? I'm gonna break this down to end my little part of this segment. This is the time that we remember the Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan conversations. You got 2 great power forwards in the league at the same time, dominating, sharing MVP awards, sharing all these and when I say sharing, I don't mean naturally both of you all are co-MVPs.
Right.
But I'm just saying, y'all in the same space. Y'all in the same airspace. Like, oh, motherfucker, they talk about you like you God. You ain't nothing. Yada, yada, yada. I believe that in order for AD to be the either, to me, he's more or less the Kevin Garnett, and Giannis is the Tim Duncan.
Bro,
right?
Good comparison.
Okay. So, and people don't break it down like this because they don't want to make that comparison of legends. Like these guys have their own game in their own right. And let me clarify that. All right. These guys are not Tim Duncan. These guys are not Kevin Garnett. These guys are special in their own right. But the only people that we've had in our past history that we can utilize a comparison to is Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan during that same time period. Right. So I believe AD has this Alaska and Texas style chip on his shoulder to say, yo, y'all done gave this man 2 MVPs back to back.
That's a good point, man.
Back to back.
Point.
I'm that man and I got a ring. And I'm going to show y'all why I got a ring.
I'm on Giannis's back. I'm on Giannis's back.
I'm coming for you, bro.
All right. Rookie of the year.
Okay.
James Wiseman.
Okay. We in agreement on that.
Yep. Best team in NBA. Record-wise, the whole 9. Los Angeles Lakers.
Mm-hmm. I'm in agreement.
Best player. Preseason player. Best player. Until they knock him off, it's the King. It's the King.
Before we go, I got to ask you this question.
Don't be asking.
The legacy of AD with LeBron and without LeBron, what would it be?
I mean, AD was marginal until he got with LeBron.
What's marginal?
He was just a player he was DeMarcus Cousins in Sacramento. What? That's who he was. DeMarcus Cousins was averaging better numbers on the Pelicans than AD. What? Listen, man. What LeBron does, for all the people who don't like LeBron, it's
I
more.
never said that, but go ahead.
There's never been a player like LeBron. There's been a player like Jordan. There's been a player somewhat like Kareem. There's 2 players in the history of the NBA that has never been a player like. One is LeBron James, and the other one is Isaiah Thomas.
Combination of athleticism.
Isaiah Thomas was what Chris Paul's peak is supposed to be. Because
I don't think Chris Paul doesn't have that athleticism like Isaiah. Isaiah off the
Thomas,
1 foot.
Listen, Isaiah Thomas, he's the one dude that no one wants to go watch film on. You want to know why? Because they don't want to be disappointed in how they feel about Michael Jordan. If you look back at the broken ankle game, we scored 27 points in the 4th quarter, something like that. On a broken ankle. If not for a couple of bad calls, they could have won 4 in a row.
Ooh.
They had the Celtics.
Four in a row.
Yes.
What year?
They had the Celtics. Isaiah got hurt against the Lakers in the finals.
Yep. He came down on a twisted ankle.
5 in a row because they had the 86 Celtics beat. Or was it 87 Celtics beat? 87 Celtics beat.
But they couldn't close it.
Couldn't close it. Lost to the Lakers at 88.
They got swept.
Who was hurt?
I mean, he got hurt, but they got swept during the time that he was still on the court.
No. Isaiah was killing them. They lost 1.
They got swept.
Listen.
The first 2 games, Isaiah was cooking. Yes, he got off. But his teammates was on the chain gang. They were locked
another small 5'11", 6-footer who is that tough. Listen, Isaiah Thomas was
besides Allen Iverson.
Isaiah Thomas Allen Iverson can't hold a candle to Isaiah Thomas. It's not even close. Bro. It's not even close, bro. Isaiah Thomas, every time he stepped on the basketball court, his team was the best defensive team in the league. In college, in high school.
You know what? I would say this. Isaiah Thomas's team, I wouldn't utilize the best defensive team. What I will say this though, because I think no one gives them credit
But
Jordan
they,
gave them credit.
They
Jordan,
lie on the Pistons, bro. They lie on the Pistons. The Pistons.
But listen. Jordan gave them credit because he said you had to be prepared mentally as well as physically because the Pistons were the forebearer of that era where you had to bring it both mentally and physically because they were going to play a mental game of chess with you. They don't play checkers. Like that was probably for me, even as a Chicago Bulls fan, Chicago native, born and raised, that was probably the biggest compliment. To me, the Pistons made Jordan. Jordan didn't make the Pistons. The Pistons made
Isaiah
Jordan
3-1 against everybody's greatest player ever.
Oh yeah.
3-1 in the series.
But again, they couldn't. Isaiah and them couldn't make it in the 91 playoffs, nor the 92 playoffs, nor the 93 playoffs.
He broke his wrist, and he was never the
and
same.
that was it. Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas, they could have kept beating them. Isaiah Thomas, when he covered Magic.
Oh yeah.
He covered Clyde.
Oh yeah. He gave Clyde the business.
Yo, all I'm saying.
He gave Clyde the business.
Two players in the NBA that we have not seen. You can never duplicate Isaiah Thomas, and you will never duplicate LeBron James. There's never going to be 6'9", 280. Never. You
to be able to fluently move like he moves, but also to have the vision that he has.
Now, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you a criticism of LeBron. Right? As much as I love LeBron's game, and we'll wrap up after this. LeBron, people get mad at LeBron and they dislike LeBron because LeBron doesn't go out and get 50 a night. You want to know why? Because we all feel like he could.
Mm-hmm.
We all feel like he could if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what pisses me off about LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Put your head down. Pick a side. Put your head down. Pick a side. Even if they're there, run right over them. Run right through them.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, man, this is episode 1 of many. The Black Onyx episode, right? We're bringing this Black Onyx podcast to you. We're bringing this rawness. This is something that you haven't seen when you're bringing two great minds together. And then we're going to have on some definitely some guests, definitely going to be coming on.
We just we don't feel right now. We just getting our feel right now. We're going to have guests. We're going to be in studio.
Oh yeah.
We're going to have merch.
Oh, facts. Don't let that cat out the bag just yet. Don't let it out the bag. This is when we get it ready to go on, please go in there, subscribe, and share it. Like, we're going to have this stuff all over social media. We're going to share it on our social media platforms. And we're trying to make this a movement. Black Onyx Podcast. I'm Coach Dove.
Cory McCarthy.
Slav.
Signing off. Till next
week. Y'all see him representing.